Because I can tell you now, I meet a lot of artists, great artists, who are like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm more comfortable being in the background than being the actual artist. What is pushing you to go out and get what's yours?
Listen, I would like to give a shout out to my late mom and my current dad
Okay.
for, instilling the amount of confidence
Wow.
in this young child that is me. I think it begins there. They are the ones that started me out. They are the ones that were so strict about certain things. They are the ones that gave me these values, and they honed the skills of leadership in me
Wow.
at a very, very young age. And when it comes to performing and artistry and expressing myself, they were my number one fans. I remember Christmas gatherings with family. We would be performing. I would be performing songs as about Whitney Houston, Mariah
Wow.
Carey, because
Wow.
those were the influences at the time. And they would give us that opportunity. I remember we had a group, AA Boys to Men. My brothers and my cousins were part of that group that they initiated. Obviously,
Yeah.
inspiration being AA Boys to Men, and I would be Gladys Knight within the
Wow.
group AA Boys to Men. So
Yeah.
it's such opportunities that I was a part of, and that I was given by my parents to say, hey, siyambona lona ngathi flamboyant kakhulu, plus she's born in November,
Yeah.
so uthanda ukhanya, brightness, spring and whatnot, so let's just simsize ukuthi akhule abe lento lena afuna ukuba yiyo. So I think carrying it over to being an adult, I took it from there. I really can't explain any further. It's just something that my parents did, and shout out to them.
Wow. Parents that support their kids, actually, their kids go very far, unlike those who, like Abaibon Lentole, which is, yeah.
We are not really bashing the parents that are not doing the most out there, because I
Okay.
don't believe ukuthi there are parents that would give birth, sane parents that would give birth to abantwana bese bangafuni the best for their kids. I believe ukuthi the actions ezenza ukuthi ama parents I end up anga support abantwana in their dreams or whatever. It's circumstantial,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we are not privy to any of that. So shout out to those who are able to do it and keep going, and to those who are unable to do it, learn from those who are doing it and just keep going as well.
Not Nomachi defending our parents. You know what? Nomachi, my parents never wanted me to get into media, right? So after
Okay.
my high school teacher was like, this guy needs to do media. My parents are like, nah, we're humble in the law. Guess what? I did law for 3 years. I failed. And then I had to prove myself. They were like, no media. I had to prove myself. And now my parents watch every TV show that I shoot. And they are now my big cheerleaders.
That
But
is
you're
so
right.
beautiful, Tsepo. That's a beautiful story. And just to add on that,
Yeah.
Budwami, it's a bit difficult for each generation yabazali bethu to
Yes.
look into the art space and think, yo,
Yes.
my child is going to thrive there.
Yes.
And that goes back to the question you asked earlier, Uguti, what makes artists go to corporate and work for corporate and not continue with their art? It's a lot of reasons, but le oyikhulumayo manje, I
Yeah.
think it's the most important one, where first of all, nje, the arts industry is not really supported to the
Yeah.
fullest.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
gives off doubt to a lot of people, our parents, our peers as well, because there's not a lot of support there. And that's what we are trying to do, just to communicate and speak to these ills of the non-support
Yeah.
of the artistry in our nation.
Yeah.
So izinto ezenza ukuthi abazali babheke ukuthi yo like ama musicians ayashona.
Yeah.
Now we have to donate on their behalf. Kanti what were they doing? So it's a lot of over things. And these are the things that we are endeavoring to correct, or not even correct gay if we can't, but to speak of, so that something can happen, so that the next generations, Hepo, can learn and realize, Guti, the earth without it's just
It's
null and
down. It's
void.
dead. Yeah. I think God is a
I
creative.
mean,
He's an artist, God, eh? I think
no,
God
no,
is an
no,
artist.
100%. I
Yeah.
mean, bekazo-create-a kanjani umhlaba omuhle kangaka,
Yeah.
or so creative, angasi creative himself. And remember, we've got the nature of God, so we continue recreating as creators ourselves. So it's something that we need to keep talking about. And thank you to the platforms like yourselves,
Yeah.
Nabokasi FM out there, that give us this opportunity to speak about these things, so that we take them to the masses, and the young ones are able to listen and learn, and do better. Because remember, we are carrying on from the past generation that had their own struggles.
Yeah.
They were struggling, to do their own things, and we are carrying over from where they left off. So we need to do better as this generation, and make sure that whatever we are doing is intergenerational, basically, and it benefits the other generations to come.
Yo, that's too powerful. I've got two messages here. Hi, NomaG. You are such an inspiration. What you did is really not easy, but you did it. Love it. Besolomunyuta, hi, Noma. I really love how you sound. You have this calming spirit, man. I'm far from you, but I can just feel at ease listening to you. Wow. You're going
That
to be
is so
healing people.
wonderful.
You're going to be healing people. I want to segue into.
Yabon,
Yebo.
yeah. No, continue. I'm just agreeing with you.
I want to segue into the EP that you released today. But firstly, what's going to lead us to that is, why not release gospel music and going into this route? This is going to lead us now to the album that you've created. Have you done gospel? Have you released gospel? Have you tried gospel? I'm not saying at church, but as an artist, have you tried it? Have you released a gospel song? And then you're going to lead us get to the EP conversation.
Okay, great stuff. So let me take you back to the question that you asked initially, Uguti. Igospel nalo music enguyenzayo, and the genre, and I did highlight what that was. But just for the purpose of your question, and just to answer your question straight on, yes, I have released a couple of gospel songs, and I had collaborated with a group called Inimitable Voices South Africa.
Okay.
And there's a couple of songs that I released with them. In fact, that whole album was 90% of that album was produced, musically directed, some of the songs co-wrote, and directed by myself. And I sang in those songs as well. So yes, they are all over YouTube. If you can go for Inimitable Voices South Africa, you will find all the gospel songs that I am a part of.
Wow. Okay, now let's get into the EP. It dropped today at midnight. Firstly, let me ask you, how do you feel?
Tsepo, I don't want to sound diplomatic or political.
Not you calmly saying I don't want to sound political. Okay.
It's a disclaimer.
Okay.
Again, it's a mixture of emotions, because this EP has been long coming. I went into studio more than 10 years ago to produce these songs, and they were done 10 years ago, completely.
Yeah.
It's a story for another day, and we can have a chat about that. And the topic there can be, let's distinguish between producers and studio engineers. Yeah. I'm just giving you another idea. That's fine. We can talk about that when we get to it on another separate setting.
Okay.
But in essence, just to answer your question, it's a mixture of emotions. throughout the years leading to midnight yesterday,
Yeah.
I've come across a lot of adversity trying to push this music thing, trying to get the songs out there. I've had to deal with a lot of chauvinists in the music industry. I've had to deal with a lot of offers to sell my soul. I've had to deal
Ish.
with a lot of adversity, man, like a lot of
Yeah.
challenges, but also in the same breath, there were benefits because I was doing what I love. But I'm
Yeah.
just showing you in the interim leading, to midnight yesterday. It was a lot of experience. It was a lot of things that I had to go through. So you can imagine today the EP is out finally. The first thing for me is thank God you made it happen, Lord. That's the first
Yeah.
thing for me. I was excited, and then the excitement just comes in for like 1 or 2 seconds, and then I remember what actually the real work begins now because there's lots and lots of more other songs to come. Within these 10 years, I would have loved to release at least 1 or 2 albums,
Yeah.
which are ready even now as we speak. But because I had to track back and fix what was not fixed, and now that it is done, I thank God it is done. We move from this point forward, and we producing more music for the people. People are ready for proper music. People are ready for, reflective music. People are ready for music that heals. People are ready for music that speaks to the social ills that we are experiencing. And that's what's about to come from NomaG and the team.
Yo, 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 yo. Let's talk about the EP itself.
Sure.
Yeah. So first and foremost, what's the name of the EP? What's it about? Now is the time for us to tell the people now from your perspective, not just the songs, but your perspective, your thoughts. Let's get into it.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
100%. So the EP is titled Ki Imolewa. Ki Imolewa is a direct translation borrowed from the Yoruba tribe.
Okay.
Like I said to you in the beginning, I am an African. My roots are African. I'm so
Yes.
proud. And just to give you a little thing there, the original name for Africa was Alkebulan. So I was
Uh,
borrowing from all those elements to say, I'm an Alkebulan.